and we are VIMTV, Velocities of Music. Today, guys, we're going to review the new album, the very hyped album by Gang Gang Dance called Eye Contact. Tom and I both feel very similarly on this album, but this deserves to be the most bland music review you've ever heard. Because the music just doesn't do it for us! I'm sorry! We're sorry! We're sorry, but here's why. Gang Gang Dance. This is a band that has gotten a lot of attention from the music media, and you know what, these guys, they write great music as far as instrumentation goes, and maybe even putting in these really cool electronic compositions that also include a ton of real music, real instruments too. Now, instantly, Tom and I have both seen Cirque du Soleil. I've seen him once, you've seen him twice. Mm-hmm. Tom and I both had the same reaction. Tom, you can chime in here too whenever you want, but I got, like, this was just like, it was like Cirque du Soleil was playing their music for me, which Cirque du Soleil is this crazy circus. I think, you know, they have the band playing under the stage and everything, and they always turn the lights on and everything, you can see the band. When I saw Cirque du Soleil just a couple months ago, I thought, wow, the music was the best part. And then I hear this and I'm like, wow, this is just like Cirque du Soleil music. I'm so excited. Well, then I realized that part of the reason that I liked Cirque du Soleil was just that it worked so well with the visuals, these amazing, astounding, incredible acts that were going on in front of me with all these colors and visual effects, and it was just awesome. Well, this doesn't have that, and unfortunately, the music has great mood. It's very original sounding, and it's produced very well, almost like a live performance, like you're sitting there watching them perform this at you. But other than that, what is there? I felt like there was just not a lot to attach to.
Yeah.
What were your thoughts?
I had a similar experience, and the thing that really killed it for me was the vocals.
Yeah.
Not that the vocalist was a bad singer. I actually really liked her voice, and there's some male vocals on there too, and I like that all right too. But it's just the parts, the melodies that they write, I feel like don't mesh with the music.
Right.
I feel like there's really these cool electronic beats and grooves, and even like guitar and bass hooks that are really cool. And then the vocals just kind of sit on top of them, and they honestly distract me from the good things that are going on underneath.
And one thing that Tom and I hammer home all the time is when you're listening to music, especially music with really good instrumentation and even songwriting, is when you're listening to vocals, you have to analyze all the time. Anytime you're listening to music, you have to analyze, would this be better without vocals? Would this song sound better? Would you like it more without vocals? And if you ever answer yes, then you have to just go, what the hell were they thinking? Putting any vocals to that. And that's what I feel like all over this album. It's just that I would rather listen to the instruments. I don't even see why it needs the vocals.
And they make it easy for you to notice that, because a lot of the times they'll start the song and it'll build without the vocals.
Right.
And then the vocals will come, and I'll be digging it through there, and then the vocals will come in, I'll be like, oh, I really like her voice, and then they'll be like, but I don't identify much of a melody here, there's nothing for me to latch onto, then I'm just kind of clawing at nothing, trying to find something I can grab onto, and there's nothing.
Yeah, and one other thing that I wanted to throw in, just as we're just destroying this album on camera, is well, I think this album's 48 minutes long, which is a good length for an album. It's a pretty solid length. It's not too long, not too short. We don't really care too much about the quantity of it, but it's all about the quality of the music supporting the length of the album. And I think that this is a 10-track album. There's really only 7 tracks here. There's 3 infinity tracks that are just interludes that set up the songs. And those 7 tracks, I think they all kind of have similar themes. Track 10 probably sticks out the most, Thru and Thru. And really, I just don't feel like that there's really a ton of material here to support the whole listening experience. I would have liked to see a little bit more variety, a little bit more of the change in songs. Mm-hmm. Now, while Chinese High and like I said, Thru and Thru do kind of embark a little bit, it's still very much in that same context of, here we're going to make a live song that's really cool, lots of instruments and electronics, and it'll sound cool and have a cool mood and sound original, but that's it. And you know, it's just kind of what you're looking for. This didn't get me quite as much.
Me neither.
I just didn't think that there was enough to connect to, not the scope that I was looking for. You know, I did appreciate that they did some things like some of the themes that one song, one piece would start would continue in the next song, and that helps the fluidity of the album. I felt like this thing, you could put it on and listen to it straight through very easily. There's definitely not a weak track on here, but it's all about content and the quality of that content. Go ahead.
And, well, I was going to say, I almost want to apologize, but then part of me doesn't want to, because usually when there's albums we review that have a lot of hype that we don't really like,
we get a big backlash.
Well, no, usually I at least understand where the hype comes from. I can be like, yeah, you know, I see what you're saying, why you really like it, but it's just not really for me. This I don't even really understand why it's such a cut above anything else that's going on in the electronica scene. I mean, it's a little different what with the vocals and what with some of the compositions and interludes, but at the same time, I just don't feel like it accomplishes much.
Yeah, I mean, you're just writing. You just listen to classical music, and then, or you know, some of the crazy stuff that has been done. You know, like there's just so many orchestras that have done. This is just orchestra music or orchestral music with like more electronic elements put to it, and then applied to the indie label, and so people are looking at it. I just, to me, they could have done more with the concept. It's a good concept. Let's build upon it. That's all I'm saying. I'm feeling it's a little high, Tom. I'm gonna go 64.
I'm gonna go 63.
Okay, so low 60s. That means that there's some quality material here, but there's some things that we as VIMTV feel are holding this back from really being a good album. Like I said, some parts are very good here. There's some parts I really liked. Instrumentation, originality, mood. I love those aspects. This is a great album to put onto. Maybe even make a little jig to. But that's it. I find it hard to be emotionally invested in this, and to me, that's something I'm looking for in music, and I think a lot of you guys are too. What did you guys think of Gang Dance Eye Contact? If you liked it and know why and want to you know, elaborate on what we were saying, please leave us a comment at www.velocitiesinmusic.com or youtube.com/velocitiesinmusic. Follow us on Twitter, like us on Facebook, and also check out Ian's Tumblr blog at vimtv.tumblr.com. Ian reviewed this. I think he gave this one like a 78. He liked it, so we'll post a link for that too. Check it out. I'm Jake.
I'm Tom.
And we are VIMTV, moving music critique forward.